Guess where I am? Back at Mill Hill Golf Club again. Thank you very much for their beautiful range. And today we have a Polestar 4 Performance, to be precise. I'm going to start with the front with the engine bay, but there's no engine, as you know, because it's an electric car. It does have a little bit of storage up here though. Very nice. This is a brand new car that's been given to us by Polestar North London, so thank you to them for giving us the car to review. This, I love it. It's a great design. It's so pretty. I love these lights on the front, and the color is obviously black, and it really suits this car really well. Going around to the side of the car, we've got these massive wheels on this, which makes it such a handsome fella. I really do like the wheels on this car. And because this is the performance model, we've got the upgraded Brembo brakes in there as well. Now, they're not ceramic, they're not drilled, but they are the upgraded performance brakes. They're a bit bigger and they work really well, and I've not had any issues with them so far. This is a handsome car, as you can see. I like the color, and it has a beautiful interior. If you have a look, you've got all of the standard features you would expect from a high-level vehicle like this from Polestar 4 Performance. So in the Polestar 4, you can get the single motor, which is 286 brake horsepower, 200 kilowatt. And that gives you 343 Newton meters, which has a 0 to 60 of around 6.9 seconds, and it's rear-wheel drive only. Or you can get the dual motor Performance, which this model is, which is 536 brake horsepower, or 400 kilowatts, and it gives you 686 Newton meters of torque with a 3.7 seconds 0 to 60. But as you'll see from the video, when we did the 0 to 60 times, it actually came out at between 3.2 and 3.4. So it does actually perform better than the estimated figures from the manufacturer. And of course, it's all-wheel drive. Being the performance pack, this car also has the stiffer springs, anti-roll bars, and the Brembo brakes we spoke about, as well as the active dampers. So from inside the car, as you would expect, it's very plush, very luxurious, very lovely, nice finishes and fixtures. No squeaks, no issues, all very solid. Yeah, a really good quality car. This has got the Harman and Kardon upgraded sound system. There's plenty of space in here, as you can see. Loads of headroom, loads of legroom, loads of extra storage down here as well, actually. And up here in the compartment, that's pretty huge as well. You can get all your bits and bobs in there. You've got a couple of USB-C ports. Then if you pull this back, you've got your cup holders. Then up here, you've got the charger for the phones if you want to charge your phone wirelessly. To get into the glove box, there is no button. It has to be done through the screen, which I have to try and remember where it is. There we go. Open glove box. A little bit of a faff. I would kind of prefer a button, but you know, it makes it a bit unique. But yeah, brand new car, so this is from factory with all the bits and bobs. We've also got on the interior the ambient lights, which in most cars you've got like green, blue, black, whatever. In this, they've got Earth and Mars and Saturn and Jupiter, and it has the average temperature and the day length and all this other stuff, which is kind of cool. And it does all of the internal lighting system. This car has also got the yellow seat belts, which is really nice. These seats are super comfortable, and in the front we've got massaging, heating and cooling. We've also got heated steering wheel, and yeah, this huge display which is really clear. And as I mentioned before, we've got the rear view mirror, which is actually a camera because there's no rear window in this car, in actual fact. We've also got the huge panoramic roof up there, and yeah, this is a super comfortable car. So what I'm going to do now is put myself in my driving position as a 6'1", almost 6'2" man, and then see how much space we have in the back. So back here we have loads of room, and it is super comfortable. I haven't actually been in the back of this car while it's been driving, but that's my driving position. 6'1", almost 6'2" man. And look at the room I've got. It's huge, and the way these seats kind of slant back is so comfy and so natural. It's really nice. You've also got here in the middle space for a fifth person if you want to put them in, but to be fair, like this with this handrest is really nice, really cool. And oh, I found something I didn't even know about. We've got, oh, we can electronically move the backrest into a position you're happy with. So I had it in this really kind of leaning back position, which is super, super comfy. Like, I think you could do a long trip in the back of this car, no issue whatsoever. You've also got the vents there on the side, which you can actually move these ones in the back. Well, you can't in the front, obviously, as we spoke about, but these ones you can. But yeah, headrest, super comfy. Leather, very soft and very comfy. And yeah, it's just a really nice place to be. At the back, we have a little button here for the automatic tailgate, of course. And it's pretty huge, to be fair. There's even speakers back here. Not entirely sure why, but yeah, this is massive. A huge amount of space. You got your charging cables and bits and bobs in there they give you as well, but that's a really, really huge boot. And you can actually flick this down to have a look into the cabin. Not 100% sure why. Maybe if you want to put the seats down and make it flat, but that's not that tall. But I leave it up, and yeah, really big boot, loads of space. Round here, by the way, we've got the charging port, which we didn't mention before. Automatically opens when you tap it. You've got the standard charger, and then you've got the fast charger. And then with this one as well, you don't push it closed, you press the little close button and it closes itself, which is quite nice. Right, so welcome to our slightly grey today airfield, but let's see what this car does. So, claimed figures, 3.1, 0 to 60. We have charged the car fully last night. We're going to bring it up here to the straight. We're going to put our foot on the brake and the throttle. It says launch control activated. Let's see. That was 3.51. So that's not quite as quick as it should be. Let's put it into sports mode in the dynamic ESC. Let's come to another stop and we'll try again. So, same again. Foot on brake. Launch control activated. Oh, no, steering not straight. Okay, try again. Launch control activated. 3.4. Okay. .4 again. Okay. So that's in sports mode with the traction control off. So we've had 3.4 a couple of times. We had 3.5. Let's bring the car around here. And we'll try again. See if we can get that magic number 3.1. That is claimed from Polestar, which, to be fair, is usually quite accurate. They don't usually mess around with their numbers and test it pretty thoroughly. They're not one of those companies that go over or under. So let's try again. We are at 85% battery. We are in sports mode, performance. Launch control activated. And that was a 3.29. So yeah, I would say you can expect between 3.2 and 3.4 as your average, maybe in the perfect conditions. 3.1, but 3.2 is a very good time. So, as I was saying in the video before, supercar driver training, we usually do supercars, right? But we've always said anything over 500 horsepower, you can consider as a supercar. Obviously, times have moved on quite a lot, and 500 horsepower these days is quite obtainable by quite a lot of cars. It's not that much anymore, shall we say. So this, I don't really think you could class as a supercar. It is one handsome brute. It is a very capable car. It's a very comfortable car. It can do pretty much everything. As it's four-wheel drive, it's electric, it will do 250 miles to a charge, real world. It's got all the technology you'd ever want. It's massive, it's comfortable, but a supercar, not really, unfortunately. So I'm not going to call it a supercar. I'm going to call it a very, very capable family car. But nevertheless, it's a bloody good car. Try one more time, shall we? Yeah, 3.2 again. So we're very close to those times, and I think it can depend on a lot of things. When you have Teslas and you try and do this, they want to precondition the battery, which can take 15 minutes and all this other stuff. Where in this, you just get in and go. Brake, accelerator, go. So in that respect, it's a lot more simple and straightforward. I'm going to try it with the ESC on to see if that makes any difference. It might make no difference whatsoever, but I'm going to put it back on and see. Doesn't feel as quick. I'm right. So 3.4. So okay, let's say around 3.4 with the traction on and 3.2 with the traction off, which is still very good, very quick. I mean, the other thing is, in testing, this car has a top speed of 124 according to the blurb and the paperwork, but in reality it's actually 128 on the track. So again, couldn't use this car on the track because, well, you would be going faster than 128 on pretty much every straight, so you'd be limited. But as a normal car to go on the street to drive around in, it's perfect because you're never going to need to go over 128 on the motorway ever, even if you're a little bit naughty and you're overtaking someone. You're never going to have to go over that, and it keeps that linear power right up to kind of 100 miles an hour. So it's got great power for a normal family car as well. Another reason why I couldn't really class it as a supercar, because as a supercar you want to say, well, you know, you want to be able to take it on track sometimes, therefore it shouldn't have a limited top speed, or it should have a limited top speed to something that is going to be obtainable on most tracks, which is going to be closer to 200 miles an hour, not 128. But there we go. Anyway, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do now is talk you through the infotainment system. Key wise, you got this, no buttons, no open, no unlock, no boot, no nothing. You walk up to the car, it unlocks. You walk away from the car, it locks. A bit disconcerting, but works quite well. Inside the car though, it is beautiful, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in my video shortly. But from the driver's perspective, wow, it is super comfy. Everything is super lush, super nice to touch and feel. Nothing feels cheap, it all feels very nice. And I like this as well. You've got the same one in the Range Rovers where you can flip it down to put it to a normal mirror, but we don't have a rear window here, as you can see, or you have it as this camera, which works perfectly well. Really nice. And that huge sunroof again. I'll talk you through all of the controls here in the Polestar 4 Performance and quickly go through the screen. If you're not interested in this bit, you can skip the video, but here we go. This is how I have the car set up personally, because this is how I prefer it. So I've got creep on because I like to be able to just creep up to things like at the roundabouts. Stability control is currently on. You can turn it on and off. It doesn't make a huge difference in this car. Range and performance, yeah, obviously if it's in range you get a few more miles out of it. Performance gives you a bit more of a boom. The steering feel, I've got it in firm. That's how I prefer it, a bit heavier. Suspension as well, I prefer it in firm. This car can be a little bit nervous in firm. It might be better in standard for your normal everyday driving. And then one pedal drive I've got turned off completely. I don't like it. It's great that you can turn it off in this car. You can't turn it off in Teslas completely. I love the fact that you can turn it off in the Polestar. In assistance, we've got these things that turn themselves on automatically every time the car stops, not turns off, but actually stops. So you have to keep continuously turning them off. Otherwise, this will beep every time you go over a mile over the speed limit. This will keep telling you need to stop for coffees and whatnot. Lane assist is fine, blind spot is fine. Charge. We've got the car at 84% at the moment, saying it will do 195 miles. This is how you open the charge port, and you can change this if you're daily charging. In audio, you've got all of the usual stuff, but what's really nice and cool about this car is in the headrests. You've got speakers, and they work really well for noise cancelling, and for the audio, it's really good. Equalizer and standard bits and bobs in here. Then exterior, you've got the lights that bend and follow the roads. Of course, you've got the welcome sequence, which is the nice kind of Knight Rider lights. Very cool. You've got all the other bits and bobs here, like the child lock and so on. You've got the mirrors, which you can have so it goes down. So if you often park near a curb, you want that mirror to come down every time you put it in reverse, just so you can see the curb perfectly and you don't scratch the wheels. All your other normal adjustments here for your wipers and whatnot. Tailgate. Interior. In the interior, you've got the lovely massage seats, by the way, in the front for both passenger and driver. And in ambience, rather than having purple, green, blue, red like other cars, it has for whatever reason, it has planets instead, like this. So you've got planets, and you select the different planet, and then it puts the different color scheme in the car, which is kind of cool, kind of different, kind of funky, I guess. I'm not sure which one I prefer in this car, to be honest, with the black interior. Let's keep it like this. And then you've got over here in your settings, you've got all your bits and bobs, networks and so on and so forth. Screens you've got as well, you can put on auto if you find them too bright, or if you prefer them a little bit brighter, you can just manually change it. Glove box you can open from here, no button as far as I saw, and then you got your wireless as well. So from inside the car, ride quality, great. Feel is very, very good, very responsive, great driving position, loads of room. The only thing I did mention before is that when you are in the suspension mode firm, you can feel slightly nervous, but that could just be me, or it could be the tyres that we're on today, or it could be the road surface. But so I'm keeping it in standard or nimble. But yeah, I mean, drivability, easy, lovely, very straightforward, nothing strange, nothing out of the ordinary. Feels very solid, very put together, shall we say. Really no issues whatsoever with the handling of the way it drives and the way it goes down the road. I love the adaptive cruise control that these come with. They work really, really well. And yeah, because you're electric and you've got more than 500 horsepower in this model, you never have an issue with getting onto motorways or overtaking quickly or being able to pull out. If there's enough of a gap that it's safe to do so, you can in this without having to think, oh, I need to build a little bit of speed or get them turbos spinning beforehand. No, you just touch that throttle and you're gone. So it is really good in that respect. And like I was saying before, the adaptive cruise in this, press the button up here, pick the speed you want to go, and that's kind of it. I mean, it's pretty good. You can set the distance between you and the car in front. You've got it on your heads-up display in front of you. It holds you in the lane. Even if you put the indicator on, it will check that the other lane is empty and move the car for you. So it's really, really good. And there's one thing, a lot of cars with adaptive cruise control, if it thinks you're not holding the wheel enough, or you're on a particularly straight bit of road and you're just kind of resting your hands on the wheel and you don't have to do anything, it will pop up saying hold the wheel. You obviously are holding the wheel, but for it to realise you're holding the wheel, you have to pull it a little bit hard until a point where it feels like it's coming off of the cruise control, and then it realises your hands are on the wheel and then takes back over. So that maybe could be slightly tweaked within the software to make it a little bit more gentle, so you don't have to give it such a hard pull, so it realises that you are still there and you are still driving. Because lots of the time on these long motorway stretches, it's almost straight and you don't have to keep continuously moving the steering wheel. It's also got some little cameras in here in front of you which monitor you. So if you have got the what's it called? I don't even run myself. Oh, the driver alert on. Then those little cameras are watching you all the time to make sure you are watching out the screen, you're not playing with your phone, you're not looking around, and that you are paying attention to the road. So there's little teeny cameras here up front, and I'm not sure if that's a camera or if that's a sensor. Yeah, look, driver monitoring camera, it has been blocked, remove the obstruction. So there's a little camera here in the side, and if you put your finger on it, it can't monitor you and say, oh, you're in good driving condition. Which, I mean, it's a security thing, and all these new cars have got it now. The same with the speed limit warning and the other assist packages. You have to turn them off every time you get in the car, or even every time you park the car. Can be slightly annoying. Some car brands have got around it by having one button which just mutes everything, or one shortcut button to put it how you would prefer it, which just means it's an extra step every time you get in the car that you have to do. But it's one of those things, it's an EU thing, it's not going to go away, so we've kind of got to find the best way to live with it. Massage in this is great. It's if you put it on the strong setting, it really is good. It really does get into those knots on your back, which I need, because I'm not sure if I mentioned it already earlier in the video, but I'm potentially going to be offline doing car reviews for a little while, because I had an operation on my back when I was younger, after an incident, and it now needs to be done again. again, and it means I've got to have 12 vertebrae fused and a load of metalwork put in. So not looking forward to that, but it's one of those things. That's life. It needs to be done. Going into quite a bit of pain. So I might be out of action for a couple of months, not doing any reviews at that point. Once that happens, haven't got it booked yet, but we'll keep you informed in the future. And if I am out of action, one of the other guys, someone else from the team that's not camera shy, will of course take that torch and do these car reviews. You know, maybe you prefer them, so maybe I won't come back. Who knows? Anyway, the vents in this car, like lots of the new modern kind of electric cars, there's nothing to touch. You can't move them, you can't change them, you can't turn them up and down from here. It's all done from that big screen. You change the angles you want, and the air cleaning and the filtration and all the other stuff from the big screen. So it's quite minimalistic in that respect. The internal lighting in this is very, again, minimalistic, just a straight little line. But then it does behind here in the speaker, it does also have little tiny lights back there as well, which is really nice for the kind of minimalist, but what's the word? Minimalist but sleek look. The range in this car, so it's a little bit difficult for us to give an accurate kind of range to everyone on this car, because when we're testing it, we test it in different conditions. We drive vigorously, we drive along challenging roads, we're testing the brakes, we're testing the acceleration, and so on. So it's a little bit difficult to get an accurate mileage reading. Plus, this is a brand new car from Polestar, North London, by the way. Thank you very much. So it hasn't got the ability to give us a real accurate kind of mileage to battery percentage. But what I can tell you, while we've had it for these few days, is it takes around an hour to charge up to 80%, which is really, really good. And it also will do, according to the computer, 250-ish miles when it's fully charged. But it's hard to be accurate with that, because, as I say, when we're testing it, we're doing things that your average driver wouldn't. So that could go up as far as maybe 300 miles for your average driver that's going around treating it normally and not putting lots of camera crew and camera stuff in, and yeah, doing brake tests and 0 to 60s and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good range, and because, like most modern electric cars, it takes an hour to fully recharge, or an hour and a half, from 10% to 100, let's say, it's not that bad. Because let's be straight, if you're going to a petrol station to put some fuel in your car, who doesn't mind sitting, replying to a few messages, scroll a little bit of social media, have a drink, you know, respond to a couple of emails, and by then the car's at 90%, you know. So I don't really see the charging as an issue with these cars anymore. You don't have to spend hours and hours charging them to be able to use them. You can kind of trickle charge them at home overnight to bring them back to 100% without too much difficulty. I think it's about 12 hours to fully charge it from nothing to full on a normal 3-pin socket at home. So yeah, I mean, charging is really not an issue with this car, and the range is pretty good. But this is a really big car, you know, it's not small. It comfortably can fit 5 people and luggage in it. So it's a big car, and it's a heavy car, and it's to be expected that it's not going to get, you know, 500 miles to a tank like a small diesel would. But then again, you're getting a lot more for your money here. And before I forget, I need to do a quick couple of shout outs. One, we get a lot of messages, obviously, on social media and YouTube from our subscribers and fans. And we've got one that's pointing out quite a lot at the moment, shall I say? Mr. Crawford, Ian. We want to say thank you for all your kind messages and saying that you are a super fan and that you are obsessed with the channel and everything. That's really sweet of you. Thank you very much. We would like to say thank you for your support, and I'm not sure the right word is I'm obsessed, but that's very nice. Second shout out we want to make is to Binka car garage. We happened to find a car the other day we were looking to get for the track. Happened to be at this other garage, Binka, and the owner does YouTube videos and stuff too, and sells cars and talks about the cars, and I believe his name is Cal. I didn't actually meet Cal, but we did go up there, had a look at some of the cars. We're wanting to get one for track, but proving very difficult. It's a bit of a political thing, really. At the moment, the government in the UK wants us to buy electric cars and says that we all have to have electric cars in the future, but all of the finance houses and banks don't want to give you a future value on them and don't want you to buy them because they don't know how much they're going to be costing in a few years' time. So it's a bit of a strange situation, but that's nothing to do with the car garage Binka at all. They were great. They were really helpful. Guy called Sam there, very informative, straight on WhatsApp, helping with everything, talking to us about, you know, what deals can be done, prices, parts on the car, and so on. So very, very nice, very helpful guys. So we haven't managed to sort that purchase out yet, but we may be doing that in the future for one of our new track cars for track experience and teaching clients. And if we do, then hopefully we'll get a video with them about the car on the channel. But like I say, big thanks to those guys over there, as they have been super, super helpful with helping us getting another purchase. As usual, I'd love to thank you for coming and watching our video on this car and the review. I'd like to thank, of course, Mill Hill Golf Club for allowing us to come here. So what do you think of the Polestar 4 performance? It handles really well. It's quick, very quick. Top speed is obviously limiting. It's not a track car, but as an everyday car, this is great. And damn, it's good looking. I mean, this is a super handsome car. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let us know what you want us to review next. Also make your comments, whether you like the video, you don't like the video, whatever. It's always good to have comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.